All right. Good day, everyone, and welcome to Changing Lives with FT Club. My name is Denis Gabriel, and I am mainly responsible for the FT Club brand in terms of business development and facility design, while I also co-manage our first FT Club in Munich. I've been with the FT Club family now for about 4 years, and as you can see, I've desperately tried to educate myself in all aspects of sports, business, and tourism, which hopefully earns me the right to speak to you today and demonstrate how your life could possibly look better and different by tomorrow. At first, I would like to present you the main characteristics of the FT Club if you haven't heard of them so far. Our brand stands for high quality functional training in a boutique studio surrounding, which means we are speaking of training facilities with around 200 square meters or less, which create a really family and friends sort of vibe, which is quite unique and personal. And with that in mind, we developed a holistic concept for how to make a living of functional training itself. So, making your passion your job. Our focus ultimately lies on maximizing the capabilities of individuals, making them more flexible, agile, faster, and stronger, all with the overreaching goal of helping our customers to live a healthier and finally happier life. Our trainings concept is based on a precisely evaluated ratio of participants to coaches, which ensures us to provide a high standard of service while still maintaining a comparatively low personal cost or staff cost, but at a very competitive pricing, which is about 75 euros before tax. Since the brand's foundation in back 2015, we've been working with a license model. So we're a license giver. That resulted in 25 unique clubs in Germany alone. And due to the significant growth of that community and the overreaching goal to increase quality throughout that process, we have made an upgrade towards franchising. So, since September last year, we are now a registered franchise with a unique goal. And this ultimately helps us to support each franchisee in the future at a much higher level while still creating and solidifying a brand presence of unity. In terms of services that you receive from us, it's probably all said with this last point. It's a full service package. So now let's have a look at who actually stands behind the brand. FT Club is a brand supported by two industry leaders within their respective markets, with two partners of. So now let's have a look at who actually stands behind the brand. FT Club is a brand supported by two industry leaders within their respective markets. With these two partners, our customers benefit from over 3 decades of expertise. With Achizo as the business consulting firm, customers benefit from know-how of developing so many and numerous new fitness formats and establishing these in the market through contemporary marketing and sales activities. And with Perform Better, on the other hand, you receive service from the leading experts for functional training in terms of equipment and education. So today our community is really strong. We have 43 licensees with 31 clubs on the street already in over 5 countries. That accounts for over 4,600 customers across those clubs. And as we're speaking, we're actually building our first franchise club in the complete new design in Valburg in the Netherlands. So we're really excited about that. But we're also excited about all the others that are coming up. As you can see, we have 12 new clubs in the pipeline and with a major market in Italy, especially. So let me show you how we actually run our clubs. The concept behind it is quite basic, as it is a holistic approach to include all facets of traditional movement patterns, just like sitting, standing, laying down, pushing and pulling, squatting, hinging, and so on. What it means is that we have identified 4 modules which we align in 60-minute courses named after the focus of each module. You can see it here in blue is mobility, green is movement, yellow is strength, and red is burn. Our philosophy of high quality training for each customer is secured by limiting those classes to a maximum of 12 people and 60 minutes. And within these 60 minutes, we can precisely shift the scale of intensity according to each module. This coordinated approach gives our certified coaches the opportunity to cater each client depending on their abilities. Progression and regression are here the keywords. And as a result, we are just able to include clients of different fitness levels within the same course, as we can adjust each pattern in speed, range of motion, or intensity, just depending on how much they want. And consequently, we understand our concept as a circular model that takes all the qualities of becoming healthy in life into account. If you are really, really strong, which means your strength part is pretty good, you might lack some mobility. Underlining our concept, we have developed strong core values that support what we believe in. More motivation, more fun, optimal personal training, and better results are just the result of that. Based on this concept, we strongly believe in what we offer due to the power of a group of same-minded individuals that work collectively, but also on their own within a specific time frame and receive assistance of a well-educated coach. We can truly endorse our customers to achieve better results through enhanced motivation. On top of that, the 60-minute small group personal training, as we frame it, also really helps to keep the cost for staff moderately low, and as I mentioned before, we have good pricing levels. Now the question is, how do you actually secure quality within that system? It looks really fragile, but part of our mission is to constantly question the status quo. So we periodically develop and test existing and new formats at our signature club in Munich, which we call the lab. At the same time, we are also highly appreciative of the ideas our clients bring to us and try to develop new systems with them together. On the right-hand side, you can see one of our graduate groups who just completed the 3-day comprehensive onboarding process, which is followed by a half-yearly update through a webinar. They also get a 170-page coach's manual at hand, which helps them to actually review what they've learned. So far, we've educated 95 coaches that are changing lives of those 4,600 people on a daily basis. In addition, we also offer our coaches free training sessions and seminars with the Perform Better Institute each year. We're speaking here of high-class education in terms of functional movement screens, certified functional trainer education, or maybe an athletic coach. And also, they of course get access to the Perform Better Summit as you have now. What you get when you sign with FT Club is a simply full service package. It contains any support on financing, your eligibility for governmental funds, location analysis, marketing, sales, facility design, and so on, just to name a few. The idea is to be able to support you from the first day we get to know you. If you're a motivated graduate, a personal trainer, a physiotherapist, or maybe someone who's already been in the business world and is now just looking for a new investment, we have the right team and the right mindset to fit your individual needs and help you realize your dream of an own club. Therefore, as a client, are allocated a personal consultant from Achizo and Perform Better who will help you with all the facets of planning, opening, running a club successfully. You will join a community that is regularly getting together to exchange experiences and gives feedback. You will receive everything you need to know training-wise, and this knowledge is regularly updated through manuals, webinars, and our very own YouTube channel, which currently holds over 150 exercise and coaching tips. And with joining an established brand, an established franchise brand as we are, you receive the best service from our prime partners in terms of equipment, education, apparel, lights, sound systems, supplements, and finally the complete interior design of your club, because you don't have to think about these parts because we already did. All right, so what do you say? How about we have a look at how your club could potentially look like? Here you have the welcome area and the training area with a nice wooden floors, a nice separation between welcome area and the functional training area, which we achieve through the floorings and the lighting, as well as the shelf. Here another view. We have great lighting system through our partner Aschenbach. We have a beautiful reception counter in concrete design. On the right side, on the functional training area, you see that we work with a orange turf, which is exclusive for FT clubs only. We also included the brick optics for the walls into RCI. This is all available through our partners Löw Designs. And here on the next pages, you also see changing rooms. Everything is just styled to make people want to go in. Everything is really clean. And here's a quick view into the locker and changing rooms. It's all very clean, it's very basic, and it really depends on what your facility has to offer. This is our club in Munich that we just recently reopened with a complete do-over, or actually a really makeover, a facelift. You can see here in the background, we have the brick wall. Up top, we have a massive logo of 5 meters 50 in width and about, I think, 150 high. On the left side, you see our welcome area with our reception desk in the concrete design. You see the lighting. Everything is very moody. Here in the picture, it might seem a bit dark, but in real life, it is outrageous. One of FTClub's greatest asset as a business model is definitely that is fully adaptable, even though it is a franchise, meaning there are two options to choose from. On the left-hand side, you have the stand-alone club, which is the perfect solution for an entrepreneur to establish a sufficient single unit operation. And as we are moving within the boutique domain, you won't be looking at massive real estate with 2 to 3,000 square meters. You'll be looking at something with about 200, 220, which will definitely relax on your wallet and open up a lot of opportunities when you look out. So you will need something with at least 200 square meters, whereby the training space should be around 120, 130 without any greater partitions. On the other hand side, there is the club and club solution. It is a great opportunity to upgrade existing facilities, existing gyms, or existing multi-sport facilities with an exclusive area just for FT Club. This creates high potential for in-system cross and upselling, as well as attracting a new clientele and keeping your coaches definitely motivated. With around 120 square meters at least, you should be able to fit the FT Club system nearly anywhere you want within your club. This will create a great competitive advantage for any large-scale gym or multi-sports unit. So here's a brief summary of both models. Again, on the left-hand side, we have the standalone version. Here you will definitely have proportional opening hours, meaning that you will open your club to courses and have your courses running during the morning and then in the late afternoon to evening hours. This means that you have plenty of time in between to actually generate multiple streams of income. And we're speaking of personal trainings that result from your courses or personal trainers that actually come to your place and rent it out so they can bring their customers. So that's a vice versa benefit. Next point will definitely be sports teams, as many teams are looking for big enough facilities where they can exclusively train. And finally, events are really upcoming as everybody's looking for photo locations or corporate events or whatever. On the other hand, we have the club and club version, which is an inclusion in the existing gym, but it generates exclusivity because not everybody can go in, meaning you have the possibility to generate upgrades, you have the possibility to get new customers. And again, here you have the same potential in terms of multiple streams of income with the thought of that you have a really low investment to create a add-on to your club. So how about we add some numbers to that statement I just made? As most of you probably know, a good treadmill today costs between 2.5 and 10,000 euros. So how much does it then cost to equip an entire club with functional training equipment, including flooring and turf, for 120 to 130 square meters? Well, you'd probably be surprised. We're talking about 20,000 on average for a fully equipped FT club, including all those features I just mentioned. The next chapter here is our FTClub Voices. So at next, I'd like to introduce you to two of our customers who both own a standalone club, but perfectly demonstrate that there are different types of managers within this system. First up is Ollie. Ollie was one of our first customers to open a standalone club. It's called Schleusingen, FTClub Schleusingen. Coming from a sports background, he was already pretty well educated in terms of functional training. But what he probably lacked back then, as he was quite young, was that business sense. How do I actually manage a club, own a club? How do I manage staff? But today, he is the typical coach owner as we would actually see it in the book. He does most of his courses in his club. He does PTs and he also manages the club. And nevertheless, that his club is in an area with only a surrounding catchment of about 7,000 people. Today he counts 200 clients, which is really great. And he truly personifies that lifestyle that we live at FT Club by saying, being with FT Club for now than over 3 years, the club has become more than just a job to me. It has changed my life, and more importantly, the lives of my customers too. And the second person I'd like to introduce to you is Ole. Ole originally comes from a small village, just like Ollie, with a couple of discounters in the surrounding, a couple of premium clubs, but he grasped pretty quickly that he was probably not going to make that much money as he expected to in that surrounding. So Ole was brave enough and decided to give it a go in Hamburg. And as to expect, he can probably tell you better about it than I can. He had a real struggle to find and secure the proper location for an FT club. But luckily, after a lot of dedication, time, and nerves, he found a real cookie in one of the most expensive cities in Germany. So please have a look at his homepage, also the one of Ollie, and be inspired to actually open your own club. To come back to those two, in comparison to Ollie, Ole is the more traditional proprietor. He's somebody who mainly focuses on managing the club instead of also taking the position as a head coach, which takes away a lot of time. So as you can see, it is mainly up to you how you want to manage your club. But no matter what kind of type you are and how you want to roll, we will support you along the way and as much as we can. And to give you a feeling of what training at FT Club in Hamburg am Gasweg looks like, have a glance at this video that we just recently shot at his club.
Es macht keinen Unterschied, wer du bist oder woher du kommst. Es ist auch egal, ob du Sportler bist oder erst noch einer werden willst. Ganz gleich, ob du gesund, alt oder noch stärker werden willst. Wichtig sind nur deine Ziele und der Wille, sie zu erreichen. Wir helfen dir, dein Leben zu verändern. FT Club ist kein Fitnessstudio. Wir sind eine Community. Als Gruppe motivieren wir uns gegenseitig, um mit Spaß und Motivation alles aus uns rauszuholen. Gemeinsam trainieren wir nicht einen Muskel, sondern alle. Deine Gesundheit, deine Stärke und deine Ausdauer sind unser Fokus. Unsere top ausgebildeten Coaches motivieren und korrigieren dich bei jedem Training. Wir trainieren nie alleine, denn in der Gruppe werden wir stärker. Wir planken, wir crawlen, wir pullen, wir pushen. Wir fahren Schlitten. Ob Ausdauer oder Schnellkraft, im FT Club machen wir dich fit. Gemeinsam arbeiten wir an dir, damit du alles erreichen kannst. FT Club. Stop wishing. Start doing.
Well, that was a pretty cool video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. It really transports those emotions that we try to get across when we speak with new customers. But I highly advise, just come to Munich, go to Hanover, go to Hamburg, go to Schleusingen, go wherever you want to, wherever you can find an FT club, and just go in and train yourself. Because we always say you got to feel before you understand. So that should probably be your next step after this presentation. But before that, we're going to go ahead with another 9 steps, those 9 steps that will lead you to your own FT club. Let's jump in. Of course, first of all, you have to secure your location. As we just heard with Ole, it's not that easy most of the times because real estate is rare. So get help, get in contact with us soon enough, and then try to secure your contract for that area. Next up is, of course, we have to generate a proper business model so that you can have a really good business plan that helps you to get the proper financing that you need. And we're speaking about a maximum of about 100,000 euros that we want to generate in order to finance a club. Next up is the planning of the facility and all its preparations. With preparations, I mean everything that has to do with the facility, if it's already in a steady state that we can start implementing functional training equipment and the design that we aspire. Yeah, so we generally start with the floor plan. We both have a look at it, we check out where the emergency exit, are there any pillars that we have to remove, is there any stairs in, and so on. In the best case scenario, you send us some photos or we have an on-site meeting so we can discuss this in person. After that, we start with a first draft of equipment positioning. This is really important in order to see the alignment in the club. Where are the pathways to, let's say, the changing rooms? Are we able to include group training into this setup? This usually goes back and forth like 1 to 2 weeks until we have a final setup. As soon as we have that final or more or less final setup, you have the already done equipment list. Now we can go into the visualization, meaning you want to see what your club is probably going to look like later. And we usually start then to gradually build up the design and finalize it in a 3D rendering, as you can see here, which will not only give you an idea of how your future club may look like later on, but also it will help your awaiting clients who not know what to expect. And it is a great pre-sales tool, and then it is actually time to just start and go live and hopefully have your own club. Of course, you need a proper strategy, price politics, depending on the location you are. We are generally speaking of about 75 euros before tax. And as soon as that is all done, you have a precise schedule. When are you going to go on pre-sales? When are you going to have the open days? And when is going to be the kickoff? So just right before you're able to open up, everything is mostly in place. We start with the most intense coaching skills. As I showed you before, the training concept, you have so-called business days with your private consultant, where you go through those points that we had before, and you're just properly ready to open your club. And the next sale is pre-sales, and then kick it off and open your club. So the question is, why wait? Your time could be now, and we would like to have you aboard. All right, that'll wrap it up right there. I'd really like to thank you for all tuning in. It was a great pleasure presenting to you. Please feel free to reach out to me at any time. Here you have my contact details. I'd be happy to provide you with any more insights on the FT Club brand, and even to invite you to our lab to Munich to just give you a show around so you can get a good feeling and maybe you want to jump in a session. So without further ado, have a great day. Cheers.